Well, hello there, people, and welcome back to the channel. It's Dibbles, and I'm coming at you with another video from Fallout 76. That's right, people. Alright, so today we're going to be discussing a few things about what market values are, okay? On specifically weapons, because that's kind of my passion. So we're going to stick with what I know best, and we're going to go from there. Now understand that this video is purely my opinion. I am only trying to provide you information in which to base your own opinions from. Okay? Alright, sounds good, people. Let's get in, let's get started. Now let's take a look at what we're going to consider my recommendations for the top 5 1-star perks that you need to keep a lookout for. Now what I mean by 1-star perk is the first perk that appears at the very top of the weapon. Its primary perk. Okay, whether it's bloodied or quad or etc, etc. This will tell you what its primary perk is. Okay, so let's look at the top 5 primary perks for weapons that you need to keep an eye out for, and I'll explain why. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so let's discuss the top 5 recommendations coming from me for you to keep an eye out for. First, let's look at anti-armor, okay? Anti-armor is one of the most universal perks that you can get. It works across all builds, and it's an awesome perk to have. Alright, nice. Okay, so moving on to number 2, bloodied. Bloodied is the single most popular build type out there at the moment. So it is a very in demand perk. So it's definitely something you want to keep an eye out for. Alright. Now quad. Quad is also like anti-armor. It is universal and can be used across all builds. A very sought after perk. Because quad equals more damage, less downtime in reloads. So, very, very good perk to have. Alright, so we're moving on to instigating. Alright, so instigating is like bloodied. It's a build specific. It is the second most popular build out there that uses this perk is going to be Stealth Commando. And there's a lot of those guys out there and girls that love their Stealth Commando and instigating weapons. Alright, so moving on to the last of the top 5, and that's going to be vampires. Vampires is a heal over time, and you are able to dish out damage while keeping yourself alive. Great for full health, great for low health builds. It's a universal perk that is good. It's good to stay alive. Yes, indeed. Okay, people. So let's talk about the 2-star perks. Okay. So let's take a quick look here at what you could possibly have for your 2 stars. Well, hello. I got a visitor. All right. So anyway, our 2-star perks. Okay, you can end up with Basher, Crippling, Explosive Shotgun, Hitman's, Inertal, Last Shot, Lucky, Rapid, Vats Enhanced. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back over that and I'm going to highlight the ones that matter. Okay? Now, if you're a basher and you use your weapon to bash your enemies, then basher might be a key, but just for you. Understand? So I'm not being mean when I leave out certain things that might work for your build, but not everybody else's. This is the most common related perks that everybody can use. Okay, so we're going to be looking at crippling. Crippling is 50% limb damage, okay? Now that's important for slowing down targets, stunning targets, disabling targets. There's so many uses, it's incredible. Alright, moving on to explosive. Now explosive is self-explanatory. Bullet explodes for 20% of the weapon's damage. But you also have a second one, so it's explosive shotguns. Explosives do 3% instead of 20 of the weapon damage. All right, so there is a difference because there's multiple pellets for a shotgun. The percentage of damage per shot of the pellets is lower. Okay, so we're moving on. Now, this is a tough word. I think it's pronounced inertal. Okay, I hope that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, it replenishes 15 action points with each kill. A really good perk to have, okay? Especially if you're a VATS user. So it's a very universal perk. That's the word, perk. So we're going to move on to Lucky. Lucky is VATS critical shots do 50% more damage. That is a good perk. So is Rapid. Rapid's number 1, by the way. Rapid is 25% faster fire rate. Now the fire rate can drastically change the performance of a weapon. It's a huge impact on almost anything that you're using. So that perk, number 1. Number 1 perk for the 2-star. That's right. It's part of the Holy Trinity. Now, moving on, we have the 3 stars. Now we have Agility, Durability, Ghost, Lightweight, Lucky, Nimble, Perception, Rapid, Resilient, Steadfast, and VATS Enhanced. Now, with VATS Enhanced, that is the other part of the Trinity. It's 25% less VATS action point cost. Now, those 2 perks and a good bloodied primary perk would make a Holy Trinity. Now that's important because if you ever run across a weapon that has those perks, do not put it in your vendor until you research it and see what its value is, because its value can drastically go from 15,000 caps to overcap, which is over 40,000 caps, which means you'd have to have 2 accounts of caps to purchase that weapon. Now, keep that in mind. There is a high demand for that type of weapon. If you happen across it, don't be silly. Hold on to it and see what it's worth. Okay, now, we're going to talk quickly about the 3 stars that are worth having, okay? But they're typically build specific, okay? We'll talk about the universal ones first. Agility and Perception. Those are stat boosters. Not a bad thing to have, not a great thing to have, because there's better perks to have. But it is a middle of the road perk, not bad to have it. Okay, Durability, same situation. It's not bad to have it. Breaks 50% slower for your weapons. Then we have Ghost, which would be a stealth build related perk. That's a specific perk. Lightweight would be universal. 90% reduced weight on the weapon. Lucky would be universal except for VATS users. Now, VATS users would definitely find that it's a good perk. Now we're moving on to Rapid. 15% faster reload. A awesome perk. A tier on that one for sure. Now, 250 damage resistance while reloading. Kind of, yeah, mid. And then you got Steadfast. Steadfast is mid at best. And then you've got part of the Holy Trinity, rounding out the 3 stars. Okay, now, let's get moving on to the next topic, people. I appreciate you and your time. Hang in there. We're almost through this. Alright, here we go. Well, alrighty. So, you guys probably have a question on your mind right now that's driving you nuts. That's right. Okay, Dibbles, what do I charge for a gun? I know, it's always tricky, but I'm going to simplify it for you, okay? There are 4 categories, okay? Now, first category, script, alright? Script weapons are just that, they're script, anywhere from 1 star to 3 star with no useful perks on them, okay? You can sell them in your vendor for 500 to 1,000 in caps. Now, that's category 1. Category 2. Now you're looking at a base weapon. Alright? Now, it has one, okay, one of the perks I have listed for 1 star, 2 star, and 3 star. Okay? Now, if you get a base weapon is something like this. This gun right here, this Gorman's. Alright? Now, Gorman is not a bad perk, but it's not a great perk. Okay? Last round in the magazine has 25% chance to deal 100% damage. Total junk, total garbage. That perk is just, you're gonna reload and you're never gonna use it. But anyhow, now this has one of the perks that I have listed. 25% action cost, less action cost, I should say. Now, that is part of the listings that I gave you to look for. Now, that is what I call a base weapon. That is going to go in the category of 1,000 to 2,500. Okay? Now, if it has one useful perk, then it's a 1,000 to 2,500 caps weapon. Okay? Now, if its primary perk is bloodied or the 5 that I have listed at the beginning of the video, if it's one of those 5, then you could start at 2,000. Easy. Easily start at 2,000, cap at about 5,000. Now, if it is a Holy Trinity, okay, and it has all 3 of the most wanted perks, we'll just say bloodied, 25-25, okay? And what I mean by that is it's a bloodied primary, it's got 25% weapon speed, 25% action cost reduction. Now, that would be the Holy Trinity. That is what's referred to as a God roll. That weapon does not go into your vendor. It goes into your stash and you go to Reddit. You try and find out what people are selling it for, because it's important. Now, I got sidetracked and I apologize. Now, we're going back to the categories. Number 1, okay, script weapons, 500 to 1,000. Number 2, base weapons, meaning they've got one of the good perks. Those weapons go from 1,000 up to 2,500, depending on what type of weapon, whether it's good, bad. You know, you have to make some of these judgments on your own, but I'm giving you ballpark figures. Alrighty, let's talk about marketable weapons. Alright, so marketable weapons, that's why you go shopping. Is you're looking for the marketable weapons, the ones that have a demand, the ones that you are looking for to A, supply to people for the right price, or B, get them for the right price. Okay, so marketable weapon meets the first criteria of the primary perk. Okay, I gave you the top 5. Now, as I said before, these are my opinions, and I'm just trying to give you a basic understanding. Okay, now, 1, it meets the first criteria. The weapon perk is bloody. Okay, number 2 meets the second perk, the 2-star perk, right? 25% weapon speed. That's awesome. That's like that is the number 1 perk for a 2-star. Alright, so now we are looking down here at agility. Now, a stat boost is exactly that. A stat boost. It's not bad. It's not the bee's knees, but it's definitely not the worst. Yeah, it's middle of the road. It's a good perk. Alright, so this gun is what I would refer to as marketable. Now, marketable, what does that mean? Doubles for a price. Alright, so you're looking between 5 and 15,000 caps. Now, how it scales is this. Alright, so the weapon's bloody, high demand weapon, right? Alright, secondary perk, high demand perk, check. Agility, good perk, check. Now, this is on the top end of that scale. right? Now I would price this at about 15,000 caps, and I would be pretty comfortable with pricing it at that amount. It would sell, it will sell, and you can look forward to it selling. So, anyway, now I hope you understand what I mean by marketable now, I hope it's going to benefit you in the future. I hope all of this will actually, you know what I mean? That's why I'm doing it, to help you guys out, to give you an understanding, to help you take that step forward in the process of wrapping your mind around the market and market value of items in this game. Now, we only covered weapons because that's what I'm most familiar with. Alrighty, people, let's hope that this video has given you a better understanding of what market value is and how I base it. Now, I'm not saying I'm right, and I'm definitely not saying I'm wrong. I am giving you a basis on which to form an opinion of your own. Alright? Whether I be too low priced or if I'm, you know, overpriced. It's up to you to determine that. Okay? But this is about the average, and I'm a daily shopper. I go out all the time. I visit people's shops. I see the prices that people do. And this is my opinion based on the info I've gathered. Okay? Alright. So people, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.